Hello subscribers and watchers, what's up? This is me, Vivs from SlideNerd here. In this video, we are going to talk about inter-process data exchange with the help of an example. I have Eclipse running and there are two apps, Share App 1 and 2. They are going to run in separate processes and yet they are going to share data with each other. Let's take a look at Share App 1 first. Layout activity underscore main.xml. There's nothing great about it, just an edit text where a person is going to enter something. Hit this button, save to file, go here. The save to file will call this method, that is save file, through the on click attribute. You go to the main layout here, main activity here. There's nothing great about this, just the text view status and the edit text message box which contains the data entered by the user. And of course the save file method is called. Here I'll be writing code for the file output stream. Now you're probably wondering why I have this text view here at the bottom. That's because I want to show whether the file was returned successfully or not by having some kind of status message right here instead of a log cat. The same way I have Share App 2. Let's go there and take a look at that as well. Let me close the Share App 1 completely so that you guys don't get confused. Go to activity main, same thing, it's an edit text where the data will be loaded from app 1. Remember, it's from a different app. There's the button over here which says load from app 1, and simply a status is here indicating whether the data was successfully loaded or not. Again, if you go to the main activity here for app 2, it has the same kind of setup. There's the read file method where I'll be having my file input stream kind of stuff, and there's the load file method which will be called every time the button is clicked by the user. So let's try to run both of these at the current instant and try to take a look at what happens. Click run here. So as you notice, Share App 1 is up and running. That's great. Let's click and run the second app. Share App 2 is up and running as well. But this is from a high level. Let's take a deeper look at this to the command prompt and try to understand what is going on. So I'm inside my SDK platform tools where I'll be using ADB shell command to open the Linux shell of our ADB. Now inside this, what I want to show you is the list of processes running on my device. I'm going to say PS over here. That's going to drop the entire list of processes right in front of me. So now let's take a look at our two processes. So if you see, here is the process name which is the same as the package name, slidener.webs.app1, and it has this u0_a123 which is nothing but the app user ID which I talked about in my previous video. By the way, if you haven't seen it, please go and check it because it's very important. So this app user ID is given at the time of installing this app, and there's this 32,585 which is the process number of this app over here, or the process ID I should say more accurately. So go up over here, you will find slidener.webs.app2. Again, let me take a look at this. There's our slidener.webs.app2. Now this has u0a124 and 391 as the process ID. In other words, both of them have different app user IDs and different process IDs. So at this point, data exchange between them is impossible, because to exchange data between two different processes, they need to have the same app user ID. In other words, this is u0a124. If slidener.webs.app1 also had u01a124, then it would be possible for them to exchange data with each other. Otherwise, it's impossible. But still, let's try the impossible, shall we? So go here to our app1 first, main activity.java, save file. Now inside the save file, let me complete the formalities of writing the file output stream and file input stream and stuff, which I have already talked about in my database tutorials playlist in the video called Android Internal Storage. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. So at this point, I have written code over here that says the file takes the text from the message box, has a file output stream, opens the file output, webs.txt is the name of the file, and it writes the data, and it ultimately sets the status of our text view by the data that is written currently. Let's run this Share App 1 once again to see if this is working or not. Click save here at the top. The app is running and I'm gonna simply say something here. Alright, so I have entered my text inside the edit text. Now I'm gonna hit save to file over here, and as you notice the status, it says hi, it's me Vivs, what's up, return to data slidener.webs.app1/files, and of course /webs.txt, which is not mentioned over here. I should have put that up as well. but the status here indicates that it has been written successfully. Now let's try to read the data from this directory in our second app, try to see what happens. So I'm gonna go here to our main activity in the second app. Reading the file is again the same input method, that is the file input stream stuff, which I've already talked about in my database tutorials playlist. However, there is something different over here. Since we are not reading data from our own file, we are trying to read data from a different package. So first thing we need is the name of the package of the application from where we are trying to read data. So I'm going to say package name over here. This is going to be the package name of the first app, which is slidenode.wivs.app1. I believe for the first app this was the package name, right? Wivs.app1, and that exactly is the thing what we need over here. Now what we need to do is a little tricky, so I'm going to show you exactly what. First of all, we need an object called package manager. So I'm going to say package manager equals to get package manager. Now you're probably wondering what this is about. This package manager object contains information about all the applications installed on the device, and we want to query this package manager for a particular application, which is app1. I'm going to say package manager dot get application info. So as you notice, it is like saying, hey package manager, give me the information for an application with this package name, which is right here. The flags is give me all the information. So I'm going to say package manager dot get metadata. Now you could query very only activities, like tell me the activities in this app, tell me the services in this app kind of stuff, but we want everything. So I'm going to say get metadata. Now of course there is a case that this package might not exist, and therefore there is an exception, which is name not found exception. So let's handle that by saying control1 surround with try catch, and there you go, e.print stack trace. We don't need that. We'll say l.m e plus this, or we can say status text over here. We just say status.set text color. So this will give us an application info object which contains information about app1. There you go, that's our application info object. Now out of this application info we can get the directory where it is installed. So let me show you how that works as well by using our status itself. I'm going to say status.set text over here, and I'm going to say application info dot data directory. Let me just print this out so that you guys can clearly see what is going on. So this is our app2, right? And I use the package manager. I got the application info for our first app using the package name, and I'm going to simply set that inside our status text to show you what the data directory looks like. So just click share app2 over here at the bottom, and let's run our application 2 from here. Click run at the top, save activity. Yep, so there's our share app2. Now if I hit load from app1, as you see it says data slidenode.wivs.app1. This is the information contained in this variable data dir, but what we need is the exact file structure, which would be something like this. Will be slash files slash wivs.txt. Am I right? Yep, I am right. So this file would be the complete file that we want to read from our application. So let's just set this as our string full path over here. I'm going to say string full path equals to this complete location that we have, and let me remove the status from here. Just that was there just to show you guys what the full path looks like. So this is our full path from where we want to read, and reading file is again nothing new. I've already covered this in my input stream outstream stuff in my database tutorials playlist. So I'm going to simply copy paste code for the file input stream to read data from this full path, which will be supplied here to this read file method. So there's my read file method. It has the file input stream that reads from that particular full path, well, all the buffer read input stream.read method, and there's ultimately our message from app1, which is our edit text over here. I'm trying to set that data on our edit text, and there's the status that is being set if the data was read successfully or not. And of course, if there is something wrong, then there's this exception being thrown, and I have again set it in the red color with the status over here. So let's try to run the share app2 now and try to see what happens. Click run here at the top, save yes. There is one thing I have missed, and that would be to call this read file method. Let me do that. Oops, I didn't do that. So here I call the read file method with the full path, and that should do the trick. Let me again run this. So at this point, if I say load from app 1, and if you take a look, bam, java.io.file not found exception, data vivs app1 files vivs.txt open failed, access permission denied, which means you cannot simply read data from another app like that, just the way you are doing currently. So why is it happening like this? Well, if you could read file from any app, imagine the security flaws. You could read data from WhatsApp in your application if you knew exactly where WhatsApp is installed, and you could do anything with that data, right? And hence Android doesn't allow this. But then how can we read it? It's very simple. You go here to a command prompt again, and let me show you. There's slidener.vivs.app1, which has u0 underscore a123 as the app user ID. Forget the process ID. And if you go up here where there's slidener.vivs.app2, there's our slidener.vivs.app2, which has u0 underscore a124. To read data from each other, both applications need to have the same app user ID. Now this can be enforced inside the manifest of both applications. Let me show you how to do that. Close this both, close this one as well. Go to share app1, open its manifest. Here inside this attribute in the manifest right here, there's an option called share user ID. Here I'm gonna say slidener.vivs.app. So in other words, I'm saying that the first app should run under this user ID. Now let me go to the second app here. Again, take the manifest, and again I'm gonna copy paste the same thing. Oops, I forgot. I'm gonna say slidener.vivs.app, which means app 1 has the app user ID, app 2 has the same shared user ID. Now at this point we'll have to reinstall both the applications on our phone because everything has changed as far as the app user ID is concerned. So if you run this now and share app user 1 on our emulator, select resources to save, yep, okay, go to Droid screen, and as you notice Eclipse says install failed because the app user ID has changed, which means now we'll have to explicitly uninstall the application from our settings screen inside our application. So I'm gonna go here to settings in my app and uninstall share app 2 as well, because that is gonna have the same issue because we changed the user ID of the app. So things are looking good right now. So now once we run share app 1 this time, things are gonna work perfectly. So again, take share app 1 here, click run at the top, and there's our app 1 which is running. Here I will simply have some text that says hi, click save to file over here, and as you notice it says hi, it's me Vivs, return to the data slidener.vivs1 app files vivs.txt, of course, which is not mentioned over there. Let me run share app 2 over here, click run at the top again. So there is our second app running, load from app 1, and bam, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, it's me Vivs. Text has been loaded from a different app right here inside app 2, was read successfully from data slidener.vivs app1 files. Now let me go to the command line and show you what has changed this time. We go down at the bottom again. Let me drop the process list by saying clear first. Okay, clear not found, never mind, ps. And now if you go, slidener.vivs.app2 has u0 a125, slidener.vivs.app1 has again u0 a125, but this runs in a process ID 8148, whereas this runs in a process ID 8473. In other words, both apps have the same app user ID, which is u0 a125, but 8473, 8148 separate process IDs. That means I have successfully established data exchange between two processes that share the same app user ID, and thereby completed my video on inter-process data exchange in Android. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it every bit the way I enjoyed making this video. If you like what you saw, please like this video, share this video, subscribe to our channel, and let us know your thoughts in the comment boxes below. And for any queries, please post your queries on our official Android programming group on Facebook. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a nice day.